And this has been my kitchen. Hey everybody, you love burgers, but you don't know what to do with them? Are you sick and tired of using the same old ketchup and mustard all the time? Well, look no further, because I have got an interesting episode of Cooking with SonicBlu for you today. We're going to make burgers, but I'm going to show you 3 different varieties of sauces that we can make. 2 of them are, I should say all 3 of them are duplicates, but only 2 of them can be compared to other flavors. I'll show you what I mean. We got mustard, we got ketchup, and we're going to use both of these as a base to make our sauces. And we are going to show you how to make 3, or duplicate 3, burger sauces. As you can see, I'm loaded with ingredients here, so I'm going to refer to my cheat sheet over here, because I do have a cheat sheet. We are going to start with 1 cup of ketchup. And now, the first sauce we're going to make is Jack in the Box secret sauce. Now, a little bit of background story. Back in the day when I used to work at Jack in the Box, which was back in the late 80s, they used to put secret sauce on the double cheeseburgers, and it was out of this world. And then recently I've heard that they stopped using the secret sauce and just stuck with plain old ketchup and mustard. Why? The secret sauce made the burger taste so much better. So after looking around online for a while, I decided I wanted to find a duplicate recipe for Jack in the Box's secret sauce, and I hope that I found one worthy enough to be called Jack in the Box secret sauce. But since I am a big fan of this sauce initially, I'll know exactly what it tastes like. So we're going to test out to see if this exact recipe will duplicate the flavor of Jack in the Box secret sauce. So here's how we start out. We're going to get a cup of ketchup, just 1 cup, and we're going to require the use of a saucepan. So 1 full cup of ketchup, and this is going to take a lot of ketchup, but it's going to make a lot of sauce, and hopefully it'll be good sauce. Alright, fantastic. Alright,
super, yeah, super.
And I just dump it right in. So now get a rubber spatula to help scrape the rest of that ketchup out of that cup, because you're going to need it clean as possible. There we go. We're also going to have to add a 1/2 cup of mustard. Since mustard is a stronger flavor than ketchup,
You have to shake that up a bit. Exactly.
we're only going to use a 1/2 cup of this. So 1/2 cup of mustard.
I love mustard.
There it is. Ooh, squeeze that mustard. Squeeze that mustard. 1/2 cup is what we need. Okay. That looks to be about a 1/2 cup. So, 1/2 cup of mustard going on in. Ooh, lovely mustard. And use that rubber spatula to get the rest of it out of there, as you really want to use all the ingredients you put in. Otherwise, the recipe will be off. You don't want your recipe to be off. You want it to be dead on. There we go. Almost there. Almost there. Get out of that. Out of that. Okay, going into the saucepan. This is going to be cooked up, so not all of your sauces are going to be cooked, by the way. We're also going to need 2 heaping tablespoons, and I got them right here, of rehydrated onion. Now this is basically taken from your spice rack of the dehydrated onions. All you have to do is place it in warm water until they expand, drain the water, and you're left with rehydrated onion. That's going right in.
That is such a weird thing that you gotta rehydrate it.
Oh yeah. Because you don't want crunchy, you want nice, soft mixture of sauce.
That makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. And I've tried it with without rehydrating these things, and you really need to rehydrate them. It's better for the flavor. All right, let's mix that together a bit so the onions stay rehydrated and not dehydrate back up again. All right, there we go. Now, our next ingredient, we're going to get out our measuring spoons, and we're going to get a half of a teaspoon, or is it a quarter teaspoon? A quarter teaspoon of A1 steak sauce. A1 steak sauce. Every home should have at least one bottle of this stuff. Or 6, like in our family.
What can I say? It's good on everything.
It is good in everything. That's a quarter teaspoon right there. Okay, now we are also going to need 2 to 3, oh, let me move that right, there we go. 2 to 3 drops of hot sauce. We're using Frank's Hot. Just a little dab will do ya. 1, 2, 3. Next, we need about 1/8 of a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. So let's get our 1/8 teaspoon, which is the first one you come to, and get out some Worcestershire sauce. And again, a little dab will do ya. Just like that. Okay, great. That's a little bit more than 1/8, but that shouldn't matter too much. All right, next, we're gonna need a half a cup of water. So, half a cup going in. Okay, in addition to the half cup of water, we're going to need 2 egg yolks, beaten. So we're going to take these 2 eggs, just the yolks, and beat them. And what should we beat them in? Let's reuse this. All right, now to get the egg yolks out of an egg is done very carefully. First things first, let's crack it open over this measuring cup to make sure we get all the egg whites out and keep the egg yolks, but very carefully separate your egg shell. And then let your egg whites run out and transfer the yolk from one eggshell to the other eggshell until all of your egg whites are extracted, and all you're left with is the yolk.
You know, I've seen people use like a bottle to extract just the yolk.
They use an egg extractor, they'll use a bottle, but really all you need are your 2 eggshells that come already equipped with your egg. No fuss, no muss, and look how easy it can be. Let's see that again. So open it up, hold it directly up, upward. Okay, now once you got it, transfer your egg yolk from one eggshell to the other. I'm trying to remove as much of the egg whites as possible along the way. There we go. And now you're left with a clean yolk. It's just that simple. Now the egg whites can be used later on for other recipes. Or you can make a very healthy egg white something or other.
Omelet.
Omelet, you can scramble it. We are going to beat our egg yolk. Okay. Alright, that's well beat. And now, egg yolk in the sauce. Alright, that is 2 egg yolks worth going into the sauce. Going into the sauce. Into the sauce. With the help of your rubber spatula, get the rest of that stuff out of there, because you want as much of that as possible.
It's true, the egg whites sort of lube it up.
Yep. Alright, there we go. Egg yolks in the sauce.
Boy, that just is so lovely looking.
Isn't it though? We also need to add... That's it? No, that's it. You don't need to add anything else. Now we need to boil. Now we're going to mix all of this together.
No. Oh my gosh.
Well, I don't know, it's starting to look kind of like secret sauce.
More
but
orangey colored though.
It is, it's supposed to be. It is supposed to be a very orangey type of color. And I know know I'm not missing any ingredients. So this is all you need to make Jack in the Box secret sauce. And you need to bring this to a boil. Bring it to a slow boil because you don't want to burn your sauce, especially since you're using a direct flame. But this will make a good amount of sauce. And let's just take a whiff. Well, it doesn't really smell like Jack in the Box secret sauce, but maybe the taste will prove me wrong. I can already see from the color that this burger sauce is starting to resemble secret sauce.
That's why I think it probably has to coagulate, cook and such.
Yes.
With those eggs in there especially.
Yes, especially with the eggs. Everything has to cook, and all the flavors need to meld together into one consistent saucy flavor. So, we're going to allow that to happen by allowing this to come to a boil, and very slowly. You don't want it to heat up too high. And I really hope this tastes just like Jack in the Box secret sauce. I really, really do. Because I love Jack in the Box secret sauce, and I can never find a Jack in the Box restaurant. But being able to duplicate the sauce and knowing that I can make it here in the home will be good enough for me and make me happy enough. And then I don't care if I ever have to eat or never have to eat at another Jack in the Box again, as long as I can duplicate the sauce. It does smell good. But is it secret sauce? That's the question. Because if this ain't secret sauce, even though it'll smell good, we'll have to ask, is it good enough to be called Jack in the Box secret sauce, or is it just good enough to be called a standalone sauce? And I think that even if you don't taste just like Jack in the Box secret sauce here, it'll be good as a good standalone sauce. We just won't call it Jack in the Box secret sauce. Because only Jack in the Box makes the best secret sauce in the world. And as we are reaching a boiling point, we're going to make sure that you keep stirring. Do not let your sauce get too... do not let your sauce sit too long over direct flame. If possible, use a double boiler, but it's not necessary. In order to use a double boiler, basically what you're doing is removing your sauce from a direct flame that is directly underneath your pot. With a double boiler, you're using boiled water to allow the sauce to heat up, and that's the best way to melt chocolate. But it's not necessary when making this sauce, but it is helpful. And we are almost done with this sauce. And it's going to be amazing if it is what we think it is. Now that we have reached our boiling point, we're going to let this cool for a few minutes. There it goes. And like I said, it does look just like secret sauce. It's got the same type of color. Not exactly the same, but pretty darn close.
I wish I could smell it. Does it smell good?
It smelled good when I put it together, but now it just smells like a mixture of ketchup and mustard.
Oh gosh.
I hope it doesn't taste that way though. I hope it tastes just like secret sauce. But that's probably because it's hot, and then later when it cools down, it'll smell more like secret sauce. Now, it's best to let this cool in room temperature before you chill it, because you know the thing with sauce is when you put it in the refrigerator from hot, the sauce may turn sour. In fact, that's what happens with any tomato sauces that you work with, but I really don't want to test to see if this logic is the same, because ketchup does contain tomato product. Therefore, I don't want this to turn sour in the refrigerator by chilling it from warm. It's got a very unusual smell, but probably because it's hot. So we're going to let this cool by placing it to the side. Let that cool for a bit. Now we just need another vessel. Another vessel for sauce number 2, and sauce number 2 is McDonald's. And in McDonald's, everybody loves Big Mac sauce. I can't get enough of it, and people think, well, what's in that Big Mac sauce? It tastes just like Thousand Island dressing. But, you know, if you want Thousand Island dressing, put it on your burger and call it A1, or call it Big Mac sauce, then be my guest. But I've seen online where somebody actually took down the whole entire recipe for Big Mac sauce, and I want to see how close it is. So, we are first going to need half a cup of mayonnaise. And you don't have to cook it this time. You don't have to cook it because no eggs are going into it. Okay, now with the rinsed off cup, we are needing 1/2 cup of Hellmann's mayonnaise. Bring out the Hellmann's. Once you got your mayonnaise, kind of like tap it to get all the air pockets out of it, but cover your hand up with it too so it doesn't fly everywhere. And then when you got your 1/2 cup, measure it up. That looks good enough. Drop it right into your vessel, and we're going to stir it right in here. There's 1/2 cup of mayonnaise going in. Now, we also need 2 tablespoons of orange French dressing. 1, 2 tablespoons of orange French dressing. This is going to be interesting to see if it comes close to Big Mac sauce, because I love that stuff too. I'm just a saucy kind of guy. You know, I love my sauces. And I was hoping someday to do a burger recipe that involves sauce. Once you got that stirred together, just give it a good stir to get it started. You know, you want to meld the, you want to stir the mayonnaise with the French dressing together. Make sure that it's all one solid color. And already it's starting to look like the same color as Big Mac sauce. Almost. All right, next, we're going to need some sweet relish. Got some right here. Refer to our spoons again. And we are going to need 4 tablespoons of sweet relish. So there's 1. Preferably without as little juices as possible. There's 2. I think we might just do it with this rest of this jar. There's 3. And we got a little bit to spare. 4 tablespoons sweet relish. Almost used up that whole jar. The rest of it anyway. Okay, put the lid back on. And continue stirring. Stir it up. Wow, that's already starting to look like Big Mac sauce. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to see it. As you can see, the color, the texture, it's all coming together. It's like Big Mac sauce right in front of me. All right. And our final ingredient, actually it's not final. We need to get to our teaspoon and reach for our distilled white vinegar. And we need a tablespoon of that. No, this is Big Mac sauce, 1 tablespoon. That's a teaspoon. Oh, I almost made a mistake there. That's a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. I have the teaspoon in here. My mind was thinking the right thing, my mouth wasn't. Did you ever have one of those moments? Your mouth says the right thing, but your brain doesn't accept it as the right thing? Okay, that's 1 teaspoon of white distilled vinegar. Keep on stirring. That actually thins it out to the right consistency. This is amazing. This is really amazing. It's like Big Mac sauce is just slowly transforming before my eyes. All right. Next, we're going to take our other container of rehydrated minced onion, and this is 1 tablespoon worth of minced onion. And we're just going to drop that into our Big Mac duplicate sauce. Okay. This is rehydrated onion, same thing as before. Okay. Let's set that aside, and we're going to stir that back in. There it goes. All right. Now, okay, next we need a teaspoon of salt. So let's get our teaspoon back out again. Here's our teaspoon. it is. And we're going to get a teaspoon of salt. A little bit more. There we go. All right, there's our teaspoon of salt. There we go. Okay, now we're going to mix that back in. Okay, now our final ingredient is underneath the ketchup. So let's get sugar. Yes, indeed.
Sugar?
Sugar.
Huh.
And we need 1/8 of a teaspoon of sugar. That's this little guy right here. Just a little tiny dab of sugar just to sweeten it. Right, set the sugar aside. Sugar, sugar, do 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 do. You are my Big Mac sauce, and you got me wanting you. Mix that up really good. And remember, guys, you don't have to cook this because there's no egg products going into it. You don't need to cook it. And you don't need for the flavors to meld together. This is something that you can make cold, and there you go. Big Mac sauce. Looks just like it, doesn't it? I'm amazed. It really looks like Big Mac sauce. But how does it taste? I don't want to spoil it. I really don't want to spoil it. I want to save that experience for later. Are you ready? Because the sauce number 3 is our mystery sauce. And it's a mystery how it's going to taste because we've often heard about it. And those of you that aren't children of the 90s won't get this reference. So let me just clue you in on a little bit of something. But first, the sauce we're going after is Ed sauce from Good Burger. Now, a lot of you might think, what is Good Burger? Well, it came from a routine from the show All That, and it was made into a movie thanks to Nickelodeon. And in the movie, they hinted on the best tasting sauce in the world for your burgers, and they only referred to it as Ed sauce. The ingredients that went into Ed sauce is a bigger mystery than, well, Ed sauce. Nobody knows what's in it. Now, I've often seen a lot of recipes online that say that the Big Mac recipe that you just saw me make is also Ed sauce. No, it isn't. Because that is basically a duplicate of Big Mac sauce. They decided, hey, I'm going to make this and change the name of it and call it Ed sauce, throw it up on YouTube. Everybody's going to marvel at how good it tastes. Then they basically just duplicated the Big Mac sauce. But however, one person on YouTube saw it in a different way. I gotta give my shout out to Pax Levert of YouTube fame. Well, I don't know how famous he is, but this person has figured out Ed sauce to basically their perception of it, which is basically going after the recipes that we saw Ed put in the movie. And basically, what Pax suggested we do is you take a half an onion, and you kind of do like this with the knife. You kind of get the juices to generate by kind of just tapping it with a knife up here. And I'm also going to do the same thing on the bottom so that way you get double the action there. Okay, so now you cut little slits in it, basically, with a knife to sort of get the juices going, because all you're needing is really the juice from the onion. And you can see it when you squeeze it come up right there. So we're just going to throw that right there into the pan. We're going to add to this 1 teaspoon of paprika. Now this is something we're going to play with, because Pax didn't really give... Now that looks like about what he said it was. Yeah, so about 1 teaspoon of paprika. Now we're going to play with the measurements because Pax didn't really give measurements when he did the video for how he made. So we're going to try to come up with an idea of how much measurements that Pax put into making Ed sauce. Now, we're basically going by what we saw in the film Good Burger. But we didn't see him add paprika. We just kind of guesstimate paprika is one of the ingredients. All we saw and what we heard, lemon juice. He did mention lemon juice, so let's add half of a squeezed lemon. Half of a squeezed lemon should be good enough for a sauce of this size. There we go. There's our lemon juice. That's 1/2 of a lemon worth of lemon juice. And I figured that would be just right for what we're working with here. Now we're also going to need 1 teaspoon of salt. Maybe 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Let's do that. Let's do 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Quarter teaspoon of salt going in. It's okay if it's a little over, but about a quarter teaspoon. Okay, now let's get now this is where the real sauce really comes together. Let's get a cup of yellow mustard because the sauce is more orangey than red. So,
Yeah,
therefore, we're gonna need, well, let's go with a half a cup for now and start it, because I think that's all we have left of the mustard. That is all we have left of the mustard, is a half a cup of mustard. So let's start with a half a cup of mustard, and if we need more, we'll just use the rest of this, because I know there's more in there. Now we're gonna get our rubber spatula and extract the rest of that mustard out. And that looks about the same amount Pax used, so we're just going to try to duplicate it ourselves in the same fashion. Okay. Next, we are going to need, we'll also include maybe a smaller portion of ketchup, because it's not that much ketchup you need. So since we already have a half a cup of mustard going in, we're going to use half of that in ketchup. So instead of half, it's a quarter cup of ketchup. Okay, come on, ketchup, work with me, work with me. Okay, that's about a quarter cup right there. Let me just hold it up to the light to make sure. Where's my measurement? Yeah, it's about a quarter of a cup, maybe a little bit over, but that's okay. We're just playing with the measurements right now, seeing what works. We're going to add all of this stuff together. So to recap, we've done a half an onion, and we've done about a quarter teaspoon of paprika, half of a lemon's worth of lemon juice, a half a cup of mustard, quarter cup of ketchup. We also need to add our sweet relish, and I figure we should add not a cup, teaspoons. We should add let's add 2 teaspoons. We're going to do 2 teaspoons sweet relish. Extracting the juices, tossing it right in there. There we go. That looks about even. Even Steven. All right, now we're going to set that aside, put the lid on what's left of our sweet relish. And now we're going to meld all of these products together into one mixture, and we're going to test out the color too, because remember, it was a very orangey color, almost like that there, almost.
I think it's stronger yellow.
It's a stronger yellow. Okay, so we didn't mix everything together.
True.
So let's get the rest of the ingredients that's on top of the onion here pushed over to the side. Push the onion aside here. There we go. Starting to look like it. Okay, there's more yellow underneath here. Maybe it's best to put the onion in last.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a good idea. But hey, you know what? This mixes in the juice with the onion all the same. This does look very, very bright orange. So we might have just hit the nail on the head on this. I don't know.
I remember it being a bit brighter than that, though. Like yellow. Oh my gosh, that's so weird.
That is a very bright orange. I remember it being a very fleshy orange color. It was like almost like a pinky fleshy type of orange. So let's add more mustard to that, and let's just keep in mind how much more mustard we add.
That should be more than enough.
Okay, that should be more than enough. And we've just probably added about another teaspoon worth, or 2 teaspoons worth of mustard, so playing with the recipe. Does that look more like it?
Yeah.
All right. So it's about a quarter cup and give or take a couple of teaspoons more.
That looks funny with that freaking onion in there.
It does.
Oh my gosh.
But we're not done yet. There was one other ingredient that was shown in the movie that Pax didn't even put in his sauce. Remember, Ed actually used powdered milk.
That just sounds so gross.
We're going to do it the same way Ed does.
Oh.
La, 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 la. Okay. He took his hand in, dumped it in,
Oh dear Lord.
And here we go, mixing in the powdered milk. All right, let's put that onion aside there. No, it doesn't want to be put aside. Okay, well that's all right. We'll just shake it in. Mix it really good. Make sure it doesn't clump. This stuff likes to clump. And already we're seeing quite a bright orangey glaze to that.
I cannot imagine what that powdered milk does to this.
I don't know, but it gives you extra calcium.
That's true.
To
I'm scared.
an interesting sauce. Now we also saw him dump straight whole pickles in there, but I think that was just because he was making such a big stock pot of it that he wanted just the juices and the fact that you're cooking a pickle, entire pickles, it'll just all meld together. And what we did was probably used a good pinch, no, a good pinch, probably used, I don't know how much we put in there, but we just guesstimated it like Ed would. Alright, flip that over and see how well we're coming.
Its consistency looks like gravy almost.
It does, but it's also got to chill.
A chill?
You got to chill.
Oh, okay.
So after it's all cooked, and probably because of the onion, everything has to meld together. Let's turn this down so we don't boil over and burn our sauce. That does look very orange. That is a very orange sauce, I do have to admit. So let that cook, let that simmer for a little longer under a low flame. Now I don't know what the powdered milk is going to do either, but Ed did use it in the movie. So we are going to use it in our sauce. And we are going to duplicate what we envision Ed's sauce to be. Now Ed's sauce could be a mixture of any flavors, but it is supposed to be the best tasting sauce that can make you $1 million overnight and put any other burger restaurant to shame. Just like in the movie. Because remember when Ed introduced his sauce in the movie, everyone went crazy for it, and that became the new sauce for the burgers. Now once you reach a boil here, just like with the other sauce, which looks kind of like the first sauce we put together, almost.
It does.
We're going to let this cool down a bit. Make sure that all of the ingredients are mixed together, and that means anything on the side of the frying or the saucepan is knocked down into your mix. Use the onion to saturate in with the juices there, because you don't really need the onion in there for texture, you just need it for the juices. Good. Look at it bubble. And smell the potency of that sauce. Well, what you're smelling there is mostly the mustard.
I can't smell it at all. What's it smell like?
It smells a lot like mustard,
That makes sense.
because we used a lot of it.
True that.
So once again, the measurement was 1/4 cup of mustard plus 2 tablespoons and a, what was that? How much ketchup did we use?
We used half of it.
We used 1/2 cup?
Yep. Oh no, didn't we go half a cup with
1/2 cup of mustard, there you go, and a 1/4 cup of
yeah.
ketchup, that's right. I got that backwards. So we used a 1/2 cup of mustard plus 2 tablespoons and a 1/4 cup of ketchup. We divided an onion in half, made a few slits in it to extract some of the juices that is going to be seeped out when you mix the sauce together. We added that together with about 2 tablespoons of sweet relish and a 1/2 lemon squeezed, and give or take about 1.5 teaspoons of Carnation instant milk. And this is the result. Could this be Ed's sauce? We don't really know until
Find out.
we find out later. So let's put it in this container here. And what we're going to do is kind of carefully remove the onion from the sauce so that we can get all of the sauce into our vessel.
I don't want to go.
That's where Mr. Knife comes in handy. Stabby, stabby.
Stabby, stabby, rip, rip. Oh, some of the layers came off of it.
Just the bottom one.
I know, it's just sort of cool.
Okay. Let me get that bottom layer out there too. Alright. There we go.
That'll work.
Yep. Okay, now a quick stir of the sauce. And that does really look kind of orangey. Let's put it in our vessel and I'll show you the results of Ed's sauce. And most of this was made possible thanks to Pax Levert. Or Pax Levert. How do you pronounce that? Levert or Levert? Gosh, I love rubber spatulas. They seem to do so well in getting as much of your sauce out of your saucepan as possible. I'm going to let that rinse along with our rubber spatula. And this is the result of Ed's sauce. Now, it kind of sort of looks like it in the movie. Kind of sort of. It's a little more
Yellow.
it's got a more, I don't know.
It's not as vibrant.
I don't know. Can we
There's
do
something.
a comparison? Let's do a comparison. Here's this sauce, and this is Ed's sauce from the movie. So now you can see how it compares. So, like I said, we're just playing with the recipe here, and we just want to see how close we can come to it, both by taste, by imagination, speculation, and especially overall color and appearance. The color, I'm not seeing it as close to the movie as possible.
Yeah.
Maybe we could have added a little more, I don't know, ketchup to that.
Maybe. Yeah, that's what
bring
I'm
in the
thinking.
red a bit.
I don't know.
Maybe a little more of the powdered milk. Who knows? All I know. Wow, does smell pretty good. Okay, we're gonna let this cool. And while we let that cool, do we have a lid that fits this? I don't know.
That I don't know.
That's a good question. Well, after all of that searching, we finally got a lid that fits. Are your cabinets just about as disorganized as we are? Well, that happens in every home, believe me. But now that we do have a fitting lid that goes to our vessel of Ed's sauce, which doesn't really look like Ed's sauce, but looks are one thing, taste is another. And if it tastes good, it doesn't matter what it looks like. So, we're going to let this chill for about 15, maybe 20 minutes, and then I'll get to work on the burgers. And while the sauce is chilling even more, by the time the burgers are done, the sauces will be ready to go, and we'll be able to sample all three of the sauces, starting with the Jack in the Box secret sauce, then the Big Mac sauce, and finally, Ed's sauce. So why don't you join us when we're ready for that unveiling, and we'll see you when that time comes. So you got Cooking with SonicBlu, the burger sauce episode, after those burgers are done, because I'm starting to get hungry. All right, are we ready to test them out? We made 3 burgers for 3 sauces. This is the Jack in the Box secret sauce. Right off the bat, it doesn't really look too much like it, but I don't know. It's all in the taste. Okay, let's just put a generous amount there because I love Jack in the Box secret sauce. I might not love this though, I don't know. It looks good.
Should we get some toothpicks and put them in them?
Let's do just one at a time. That'll prevent confusion. So, onto the burger. Ooh, gloopy. 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 Alright, well, if it tastes like Jack in the Box secret sauce, I'm sold. Alright, let's give this a taste. No. That's not Jack in the Box secret sauce. But it's not bad. No, it's not too bad. Moving right along. So, that's not Jack in the Box sauce, but it doesn't taste too bad. Clean spoon, and let's move on to sauce number 2, the Big Mac sauce. Let's see, okay. Grab the bun, and over the top here. Now this looks and feels like Big Mac sauce. That's about a good amount. And like before, let's put it on this one. This one looks just like Big Mac sauce. A little thinner, but it looks just like it. That is close. Not exactly Big Mac sauce, but it does taste close. It does taste good. Let me give it one more taste. I must say that is very close. Yeah, I think sauce number 2 is very close to McDonald's Big Mac sauce. Very, very close.
How close?
It is so almost close, it's almost spot on.
Percentage? 98?
I'd say 80. About 80%. Probably because we used Hellmann's mayonnaise and they probably used other brand of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
And that Hellmann's really comes out as a different flavor. And now, what we've all been waiting for, Ed's sauce. And once again, special thanks to Pax out there from YouTube for showing us how to start the recipe for Ed's sauce. And hopefully, well, it's thick. Look at that, how thick that is. Look at that.
That is thick.
Yeah, just like in the Good Burger. The color might not be the same as what we remembered in the movie, but like I said, it doesn't matter what color, it matters the flavor. The flavor is all that matters, and we're going to put a generous amount on there. Now, it doesn't look too fleshy like in the film. It looks more like the secret sauce we just put on. But we're going to see how well it tastes. I mean, it smells okay, and we've given it enough time to chill. So let's just see if this would really make a burger into a good burger. No, that is some really good sauce. Now that is some really good sauce. You know, I taste a strong flavor. It's very strong. Mixture of the lemon juice combined with the mustard. That provides a very strong tasting sauce. Not a bad sauce. So if I were to put a blue ribbon on any of these sauces, the Big Mac sauce comes real close. Probably because we used Hellmann's mayonnaise instead of this mayonnaise that they use. If we use their kind of mayonnaise, it'll probably taste just like it. So I think the Big Mac sauce and Ed's sauce are two very close contenders. The Jack in the Box sauce is a good sauce, I'll give it that, but it's not secret sauce. Secret sauce is way better than this, so I think because it's Jack in the Box secret sauce that I'm trying to duplicate, and it doesn't really come together as such, although it does try to. But I'm gonna have to put my blue ribbon, it's so hard to tell. Both of these are really good. You know what? Screw it. I'm going with Ed's sauce as number 1 because Ed's sauce, it's tangy, it's got a nice zip to it. It'll get you a good bite right here on the tongue, right there. And so I think Ed's sauce will be number 1. The Big Mac sauce comes in a very, very close second. And I'm not saying the Jack in the Box secret sauce recipe is a bad sauce, like I said, but I know Jack in the Box secret sauce, and this ain't it. But it does make for a good sauce, nonetheless. So if you want to try, excuse me. So if you want to try this recipe out, feel free. Try any of these 3 recipes and see which one you like best. So many thanks going out there to Pax. You know who you are in showing us basically this recipe, and we kind of added a little more to it to give it a little more closeness to what it might be in the movie. Like I said, the color might not be exactly what the movie is, but you gotta admit the sauce really does taste good. Kind of nice tang to it. I love it. So however you make your burgers with however you want your sauces, I'd say do it whatever tastes good to you. And if it all tastes good to you, then make all 3 of them. And just keep a generous portion in your refrigerator. And that's exactly what we're going to do with the rest of all of these sauces combined. So I know what I'm going to be using for next time we have corn dogs and bagel dogs and of course burgers. So we'll have plenty of sauce to go around, and we know exactly which sauce came from which source. We got the Jack in the Box secret sauce. We got the Big Mac dupla sauce, and finally the big winner, Ed sauce. So try them out and see for yourself how good these sauces can be on a burger. And until next time, this is Cooking with SonicBlu, and I'm going to enjoy me 3 cheeseburgers, all with different sauces. Who knew? See you next time. I suppose I should tell you the first sauce we're gonna make.
Oh, that was disgusting.
Splosh. Schlop. Schlop. Stir, 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 stir. There's the kitty.
Hey.
Let me rinse this off because we don't want to put paprika back in our pickle relish. That almost sounds like a tongue twister. Put the paprika back in the pickle relish. Put the paprika back in the pickle relish. Put the paprika back in the pickle relish. Cook it up. Gotta do the fire dance again. Ooh! It's not working. For once, the fire dance doesn't work. I have to use magic. Magic don't work either. Shazam! Ha! Ha 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 ha! Don't doubt the Shazam. Okay. Try to save as much of the sauce as possible. You don't want to get out of that sauce.
No.
Bad onion.
No.
It'll make me spank you later. The burger sauce episode. So, see you. I'm really messing this up.